G'day everyone, so I'm upstairs. In my last video with the Bakemaster cylinder brace, I wasn't happy with my test for it because we couldn't get a consistent pressure on the pedal, and I said I'd order a load cell, which has arrived, so we'll take a quick look at it, set it up in the car and check how much difference and get a solid number for what the master cylinder stopper actually did. So basically this is our load cell here. It's just a block of aluminium with two holes in it, and underneath this little silicon blob on each side is a sensor that when stretched, one of them when stretched and one when compressed, changes its electrical properties. And then this is a little amplifier that reads these and then boosts it up to something that you can actually measure. So you can see there's an arrow on it because it only works one way. But basically, I've got this little circuit made up here, made out of an Arduino, which we can plug this into, plugs in there. And then I'll put some power to it, and this will give us a reading of how much pressure is being applied to this. So you can see now it's reading pedal pressure. If I put this off the edge of the table here and press down on it, it's reading the pressure that I'm putting on it. So it doesn't have any moving part, it's just reading the very, very minute amount of flex that's in the aluminium and then spitting us out a number. This isn't kilograms or anything, it's just an arbitrary number. The important, like you could go through and calibrate it, but it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that now if I fit this in the pedal, we can press it the same amount every time. So what I'm going to do now is we'll jump up onto CAD here. I'll draw up a... what was that? No, I'll draw up a bracket for that to mount to the pedal, and then I'll get back to you so we can attach to the car. Okay, so that's drawn up. We'll quickly knock it out on the plasma cutter, bend it, see if it actually fits. So that's the mount side, looks like it's about the correct shape. I need a piece to actually put my foot on, and so I've got this, which is an offcut from something else where you can see the cut failed, but I should be able to just sort of knock it into the right shape. There you go, that looks more like what I want. So we'll get the load cell, it should be able to bolt in between these two, and then we'll see if this actually fits on the pedal. It's a bit hard to measure under the dash, so hopefully I'm correct. Alright, so that's it all bolted together. There's our bottom bracket. I put this little kink in it to get it to fit on the pedal a bit better. And so we've got that. There's a heap of bolts on here as spacers. If this was a more permanent thing, obviously I'd machine some little spacers, but this is a once-off, so a stack of nuts will do. There's the load cell. Then we've got our fake pedal, which as you can see, the fake pedal is spaced up on the load cell because we don't want to press on this and then have it pressing down here. The load cell is designed to have weight there and there, so it's bolted on down the bottom. So we'll get under the dash, hook this onto the brake pedal and give it a test, I guess. Alright, so we're a bit space restricted because I've got a torch under here and the camera and my hand, and the camera's got a big fluffy microphone on it. But basically, this will hook around the back of the pedal there and sit on the front. And now, there's a gap under here, some clearance. So now instead of when we press on the pedal, instead of push on this pedal, all our braking force can be measured. So I'll hook up the rest of the Arduino to this, we'll get the readout going, and then we're ready to test, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera around the front looking at the dial indicator. Basically what I've got in the car here, if you can read it, basically if I push my foot on the pedal now, it tells me how much pressure I'm putting. So I'll pick 2 points, like a light press and a heavy press, and I will hold my foot steady looking at the gauge to get exactly an even amount of pressure on each test. Then I'll put the camera up the front and video the dial indicator, and then I'll be able to go back, look at the footage, and we'll know once and for all how much difference did this make. Quick recap on our engine bay side setup. Here's the master cylinder. The bolt for the brace is backed off, so it's not touching the brace. We have a dial indicator, which you can see even if I move this, the dial indicator moves. It's extremely sensitive and will show us any movement that's in it. So for the first test, we're backed off. I'll set the camera up and I'll go press the pedal and we'll see what happens. Alright, so here comes the first test, light pedal pressure. So that's holding steady at 200. I'd say that's a fast, sort of regular traffic stop. That was like a sort of medium stop, I'd say. I didn't do a light one. I don't think we'll worry about the light one. That was a medium stop, now we're going to do a heavy stop. That was a heavy stop, measured at 500 pedal pressure. Alright, so we've got our heavy stop recorded at 500 pressure pedal units, and we've got our medium stop recorded at 200 pressure pedal. So what I'm going to do now is adjust the tensioner out, and then we'll redo the stop redo the test with the same pressure. I just ran out of battery on my torch. We'll redo the same test with the same pressure and see if it's actually made a difference. Alright, so we've now got the stop extended to apply pressure to the master cylinder. We've got our indicator zeroed, so we're ready for the low pressure stop. That's 200 pedal pressure. That's low pressure stop recorded. Now we'll do the high pressure stop. That's 500 pressure. Cool, so that's our tests done. I'll see you in the editing room. So, I'm just going through and editing the video. 40% and 47%, which is a pretty good difference, I reckon. Now, that was like a medium stop and a fairly hard stop. I didn't do an absolute like stamp on it because that little load cell is only rated to 20 kilos. I'm not sure how hard I can actually press on it until I break it, but looking at the way it's gone from 40 to 47, as the firewall flexes more and leans more on the brace, I'm guessing you'll see a bigger improvement with more pressure, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was over 50% improvement. But basically, I'm going to cut out a few more of those because they're sort of proven to work now. So if you've got a 5th gen Prelude and you want one, send me a message on Instagram at my Instagram tag thing here, and I'll be getting some made in the next few days. Well, I'll make some in the next few days and send them out to people. I'm pretty happy with that. That seemed like a good test. If you want to see any other model of car tested, let me know, because I'm sure there'll be some people around in the local car scene that would like a master cylinder brace. If we can use their car to do this same test and see what kind of cars it makes a good difference for. But hopefully you liked the video. I'm keen to do more stuff like that, so make sure you give it a thumbs up and a subscribe so you see my stuff, because I'm going to be making more things. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. Results were good. I think that's tested well. It's better than the yeah, definitely made a difference. I can feel it, because now we have a number, 40% increase on medium braking, 47% increase on hard braking. But other than that, thank you very much everyone, and I'll see you on the next video.